This is discipline 8, shot 5B. Here we have a 3-ball wall set up. I'm going to put the cue ball 1 ball width off the short rail, and I'm actually going to freeze the cue ball to that second ball on the wall. Underneath the cue ball is a piece of cloth. That's just to help protect the table. You're required to use that in the tournament, so if you can practice with that, that's going to help. I'm going to just hang the 1 in the corner. And to shoot the shot, I'm actually going to use my Massey cue. There's plenty of players that use their regular playing cue for this shot, so if you don't have a Massey cue, don't worry. I just find it easier and more comfortable for myself to use a Massey cue. To play this shot, I'm going to aim right at the first diamond off the long rail, and using this, if I view the cue ball straight from above and use this as my reference point, I'm going to hit the cue ball at 7 o'clock, so that's where my tip's going to contact the cue ball. But I'm going to have a lot of angle on this shot, and I'm going to imagine my cue tip coming down, hitting the cloth just in front of the cue ball. So I'm not going to be very vertical on this shot at all. Obviously more vertical than perhaps any other shot in the program, but by other Massey standards, not very vertical. So let's give this a try. Aim at the first diamond, find the 7 o'clock hit contact point, and then lower the elevation down so my cue tip's coming down in front of the cue ball. Just hit it pretty firm, just get a lot of spin on it to take coming off that rail. And that's the shot. Obviously, like I said, most Massey shots, they have a lot of little adjustments you can make to get them to go. I would try to keep the same aim point and kind of adjust my power. But some people, they just like to shoot Massey shots at their maximum power. So then at that point, you can, if you're just comfortable with that, you can adjust your aim point rather than trying to adjust the amount of power you're putting behind it. If I'm spinning into the wall, then I'm going to hit it a little harder so the cue ball bounces out more before the spin takes, or you're going to aim farther up the rail in order to get more clearance around the wall. If you get around the wall but the spin bites too much here, you could actually lower your elevation even more, or you can aim farther up. So hopefully, the spin takes farther up, but then you have a little more angle to come into the 1 ball. It's kind of best on this shot. Obviously always nice if you can come and hit the 1 ball directly, but if you come into the short rail, you can also have a pretty good chance of kicking off the short rail and making the 1. If you come into the long rail, it's a lot more difficult to kick the 1 in, so it's almost better to overspin the shot than to not overspin the shot. As far as the cue ball position, one of the reasons why I like it here is because then I don't need as much spin. If you're up here, you need a lot more backspin because you're coming up here at a sharper angle. So I like it, farther back, and also it allows me a better vantage point over the blocking balls to kind of gauge my elevation. You should be able to, clear these blocking balls without a problem though with your cue stick, even if the cue ball is frozen to the wall. So hopefully some of those adjustments work for you. Again, developing consistency on your Massey stroke is difficult, something that you definitely have to practice on, and if you don't have a table where you can practice Massey shots a lot, that's going to be difficult to build up, and you just kind of have to get the experience in order to do it. So hopefully some of those adjustments work for you. Again, find your aim point or change the amount of power you're putting behind the ball, but try to keep the spin at least constant. Keep something constant to make it easier on yourself.